So hello everyone, this is Sid here and welcome to my channel. And today we are going to meet Shane sir, and who's from he's working very great. So let's get know about him. So hello sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing there?
Yeah, all good. In lockdown as everyone else is in, but yeah, we're getting out of it. We're getting through it, so it's good.
Okay. So let's first start to know about you for our viewers. So just tell me brief about yourself.
Yeah, so by trade, I guess a sports scientist. I studied at a bachelor degree level, and then I did my master's in sports science, and then I got my formal qualifications in strength and conditioning. And from a more practical point of view, I started to work at Cardiff City for my first job. Went to Blackburn Rovers Football Club, which were in the Premier League. Then I
Yeah.
went to Liverpool, and then Man City. And in the last 7 years, I've been at Man City. And then I get to the point where I wanted to set up my own company and sort of
Yeah.
do my own thing. So I left Man City in September, set up my own company, SDM Performance, and it's all about individual athletes, dealing with them and making sure that they're getting the most specific and individualized plan. And as part of the business, I'm a consultant for City Football Group, which is an organization that oversees Man City in New York and Melbourne. And also I work with the Scottish national team on their international camps.
Okay. So as you said, you had worked with the Man City team. So I want to know about how was your experience working with them.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, not everyone gets the opportunity to work with such elite level footballers. So I took a lot from my time there. I worked from under 12s all the way up to first team and the women's first team also. So I was fortunate that I had such a host of experience at such a massive club like Man City. So you learn so much off the players, you learn so much off the type of people, the staff that you're working with, the coaches. So yeah, it's an invaluable experience, I think, and it's definitely shaped me. And now in my company, the values that maybe I learned at Man City are hopefully coming through in my company and my practice.
Okay. So, as you have worked with the elite athlete, what is the difference which you have seen with the basic athlete who are just playing like the domestic level and who will play the international level like Man City?
Yeah, I think I think a lot of people have a combination of things, but I think the one thing that separates even the elite from the sub elite and sub elite from the is their attitude towards competition. I think the elite players react to competition in the most in the most kind of forfeit way. They really take on competition. It doesn't fear them. It excites them. It enlights something in them that brings out the very best in them. If you look at the best athletes in the world, they're always the ones that triumph when the stakes are really high. So the ones that perform at the best level, like I know obviously Michael Jordan's got a documentary on Netflix. You see the elite athlete that he is, and the bigger the stage, the bigger the athlete, and the bigger the performance. And you could say that the same for many sports. Muhammad Ali in boxing, Messi in finals scores goals, Ronaldo in
Yeah.
finals scores goals. These big players contribute when it matters, and that's the difference. The competition seems to have a different effect on the elite and then the non-elite. Some people who are maybe not as high enough level kind of go in on themselves when competition is really high.
Okay. So, the next is like I have heard about in many countries they follow the development procedure called LTAD, long-term athlete development. So, what's your review about it, and
Yeah.
how would you like to work with that?
Yeah, LTAD is a very important part of well, all programs really, but it more affects the younger athlete and as they progress through their career. Because long term athletic development suggests long term, so it's something
Yeah.
that you take a boy or a girl at a young age, and how are you going to provide a platform or a pathway for them to excel in their career. And one good thing about LTAD models, they incorporate some very important milestones in a person's career. So when you go from 12 to 15, there is certain things that happen around that age group. More precisely, peak height velocity. It's a growth spurt that occurs, and there's many connotations off the back of that needs to be considered in a child's development. And if
Yeah.
that's not considered, if it's not planned, then you don't appreciate the growth, maturation, and development of the athlete. So that's really important. You can't water down what's applied at the first team and think it applies to a 9-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 16-year-old. It doesn't. Every age group has its own specific considerations, and I think that's what an LTAD model provides.
Okay. So suppose it's an athlete who is not able to well start from the childhood, like 8 to 7 years, whatever is the age according to the LTAD, and they're at 12 or 14. What should be the motivation of that player to start off and like do good job in that sports?
Should always be about fun. Children who are playing sport should be about fun. There shouldn't be too much expectation on them at such a young age. They should enjoy the sport, because that love of the game is really important. They need to enjoy what they're doing, learn. It's like this discovery of practice. They need to feel like they just love playing the sport and trying new things and not being hindered by expectations. They should just be, they're children, so they should be dealt with. They should be appreciated like children, because they're going to grow up very quickly in a sport like that, becomes professional very young at 17, 18, 19. They're going to be professional footballers if they're going to make it. And I think when they're younger, they should just be encouraged to play the game and learn skills and develop as a person, not just a little footballer. They might play footballer, but their identity shouldn't become as a footballer at too young of an age, because that can lead to psychological issues, I think, and also just it doesn't develop the person as well as it should do if there's too much expectation at too young age.